Houseware Shippers Association webinar. We want to thank a few entities prior to getting started. We would like to thank Ginny Costello at the International Housewares Association for providing us personal support throughout the production of this webinar. We would also like to thank the International Housewares Association for all the logistics provided and for forming the Shippers Association for its members. And most of all, we thank today's audience for attending. We know your lives are very busy and we appreciate your time. What is the IHSA? In short, we negotiate, facilitate, and support shipping solutions for international shippers. We focus on balancing competitive price while maintaining reputable service levels. Today's presenters are Craig Akers and Greg Marty. We are sure you will have questions, so please feel free to write them down as we will be answering them at the end of the presentation.
I want to thank everybody for attending today. We're going to go over how we operate. We also have two fictitious companies that will give you an example of how the association will help your company. We have real examples of how the association has helped its current members. We'll hear from a couple of our members. We'll also go over some current industry issues. Sam's and Costco's model is to use volume to create buying power. The IHSA leverages its members' volume to negotiate discounted ocean freight rates. As the container volume grows, so do the rate discounts. In today's example, we'll be using a freight forwarder for both origin and destination services. Sally ships 100 containers per year. Robin ships 1,000 containers per year. Both are responsible for ensuring their manufactured goods are imported from various origins to various destinations. Those destinations can include their warehouse or their customer's warehouse. IHSA's rates include ocean, rail, trucking, to any destination, including doors, ports, and container yards. Sally's solution uses one forwarder for all of her service needs. She also uses two freight forwarders to keep her pricing competitive. Her forwarder provides bookings, documentation, customs brokerage, freight payment, and transportation. We'd like to note that you don't have to use your forwarder for transportation, as we found the cost of transportation through a forwarder can vary throughout the year, eating into your profit margins. Sally would like to stop this from happening by negotiating directly with the carriers, but unfortunately her volume amounts don't allow her to negotiate effective contracts. Robin's solution includes using a freight forwarder for bookings, documentation, customs brokerage, freight payment, but for transportation, she's negotiated direct contracts with the ocean carriers. This provides her with rate stability. She'd like to negotiate more contracts, but finds it difficult to meet commitments, deal with industry issues, and monitor the rate market. Today, Robin and Sally joined the IHA, and in doing so, they enabled their free membership to the International Houseware Shippers Association. The IHSA has traditionally negotiated direct contracts with the ocean carriers, leaving out origin and destination services. This has caused confusion with potential members, not allowing them to compare apples to apples with our services and their current provider. To solve this problem, the IHSA has made it easy for shippers to integrate their forwarder with the IHSA services. It's easy. All you do is tell your forwarder to book your cargo under the IHSA's contract number. We've also partnered with a forwarder, enabling us to offer our members origin and destination services all underneath the IHSA umbrella. While working with Robin, she discovered she could use IHSA's forwarder or her own forwarder. She also no longer has to sign commitments with the carriers. She signs one commitment with the IHSA, giving her access to 11 ocean carrier contracts. She also has access to our forwarders contracts as well. Even though Robin has signed up with the IHSA, she's still able to negotiate terms and rates, keep her local carrier reps, and keep her own contracts if she so chooses. The IHSA services provide a platform for you to reduce cost and time while increasing revenue. No longer do Sally and Robin have to monitor rates. We're constantly monitoring the rate market, ensuring your cargo moves at the lowest rate possible. They no longer have to support shipments. We provide premium support to all members. They no longer have to manage contracts and commitments. And they no longer have to go to their sales team telling them price has changed throughout the year, eating into their profit margins. We work together with our members, ensuring their needs are constantly being met. And now I'll pass it on to Greg Marty for Real Performance.
Thank you, Craig, and again, thank you for your attendance today. As many of you know firsthand, there were numerous increases implemented in the Trans-Pacific trade last year. These increases came in the form of general rate increases, upward adjustments to existing surcharges, as well as new surcharges. As a result, this greatly affected many shippers' profit margins. The IHSA, on the other hand, contracts did not take any increases in last year's contracts, allowing our members level pricing throughout the year. Due to the threat of a disruption on the West Coast, many shippers shifted their volumes to all-water East Coast strings to try to avoid a disruption in their supply chains. This created severe space issues on the East Coast from June through August. IHSA members saw minimal issues during this time through accurate forecasting, as well as working with our carrier partners in shifting their volumes. There has been many issues with the West Coast port congestion this year. This has caused many issues with all supply chains that come through these ports. The congestion is due to a variety of reasons, which include chassis shortages, new carrier alliances, truck shortages, labor slowdowns, larger vessels, and port infrastructure issues. We will address this issue again towards the end of the presentation. As like the previous year, there were many rate increases implemented in the trade this year. We were once again fortunate to be able to minimize the exposure of these increases to our members. As you can see from the graph below, the IHSA's port-to-port rate to the West Coast has remained static or level throughout the year, while the spot market rate fluctuated considerably. This has provided our members with rate stability throughout our current year. As with the West Coast graph, we had similar results with our East Coast port-to-port rates, again providing stable rates to our East Coast members. We work hard to maintain level pricing throughout the year to assist our members with maintaining their margins on their price points. As mentioned earlier in the presentation, as long as you're an active IHA member, your membership is free. The only fees we charge our members are service fees that range from $0 to $60 per 40-foot container. These fees are based on a sliding scale, which is determined by your level of participation. Members who commit more than 1,000 containers a year through the association will not be billed any service fees. Their large volumes assist in contributing to our overall buying power with their carriers. Do you care about your profit? We care about your profit because we're not for profit. As you can see in the graph, in 2013, we refunded more than $126,000 back to our participating members. This year, that amount grew to $185,000. Since we're not for profit, we refund all elected excess funds back to our participating members. The level of refund earned is predicated on your level of participation in the program. As the level of participation increases, so do the levels of refunds back to our members. In many cases, the refunds offset the service fees that we charge, making participation in the program free. We are here to save you money. We want your volumes to be a part of the IHSA's continued growth in the coming year. Now we'll hear from a couple of our participating members in the form of a testimonial.
Evan Dash, CEO at Storebound LLC, says, "We have been using the Shippers Association for the past 2 years. Using the IHSA, we have been able to realize significant savings while continuing to use our appointed freight forwarder. In addition to the cost savings, we have been extremely pleased with the level of service we received as well as the clout the association is able to leverage with the carriers. Whenever we have hot shipments or if our factories fail to deliver on time, the IHSA steps in to ensure we meet our customers' deadlines." Jeff Riker, VP of Operations at ICI USA LLC, says, "We started very small with the Shippers Association, and after many years, we have grown to over several hundred containers per year. They have allowed us to focus on our core business and not get distracted while they focused on their core business on our behalf. With their knowledge and expertise, they have negotiated competitive rates with many carriers, giving us options during peak season when space is tight. When issues arise with the carriers, they step in and help to resolve. Our partnership with the Shippers Association is a good one that we value."
Now we'll go into a little more detail about the congestion issues out on the West Coast. The issue remains very fluid and changes daily, if not hourly. The carriers have and are struggling to find reliable truck power as a result of the very long delays in getting their trucks through the terminals due to congestion and chassis shortages. Some terminals are much worse than others, but they're all dealing with the issue. The Teamsters have established picket lines at several West Coast terminals for pay increases as well as better working conditions. This has also contributed to the congestion in recent weeks. We've also learned today that they've moved to the rail terminals and established picket lines there as well, which is only compounding the issue. As the ILWU has been working without a contract since July, frustration is setting in and work slowdowns have been reported at most all terminals on the West Coast. This greatly affects terminal production and adds to the already difficult situation. Many have pushed for government intervention in the form of a mediator without success to date. With the larger vessels and the reshuffling of the carrier alliances, the terminals are busting at the seams. While cargo volumes have increased immensely over the past few years, the ports have not. Without the reliable stream of chassis, it has brought the system to a near standstill at times. As many of you know, last week many of the ocean carriers announced an unexpected congestion surcharge that was to be implemented this week. Many high-level organizations, including the IHA, voiced their opinion to the Federal Maritime Commission. As the voice of our members, we sought out the assistance of our FMC attorney in Washington to address these concerns with the FMC directly. As most of you know, the carriers have now postponed the implementation of this surcharge. It is our opinion, if the carriers again propose a new surcharge, it will likely be based on cargo receipt date at origin versus discharge date at destination. The question is, will the FMC allow immediate implementation of the surcharge, or will they require 30 days notice as other surcharges are usually implemented? Just like with our rates, we will continually monitor the situation daily and communicate any changes to our members. To get started with the IHSA, please head to our website at www.shippersassociation.org and click the Join button and complete the application provided. We will then follow up with you to further discuss the opportunities we can provide to you and your company. Again, we very much appreciate your time today and look forward to answering any questions that you might have. Joining us for the question and answer portion of the presentation is Dave Akers, the Executive Director of the IHSA, as well as Jeff Bergman, the Director of Operations. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Greg. We do have a few questions for you. One is, I ship 1 to 2 containers per year. How will the association benefit my company?
Well, we work with big and small shippers alike. We benefit both the spectrums. The small shipper is going to be concerned about their container getting here and make sure it's on time. If there's any disruptions there, it can greatly affect their company. So we really focus on them and handhold them through the entire shipping process, ensuring them that the container is going to be there on time, and making sure that we're communicating with all channels throughout the supply chain to make sure that they're comfortable and worry-free during the shipping process. They also benefit from the fact that, you know, if they were to go out by themselves and try to negotiate rates, they really would struggle to get close to any of the rate levels that the Shippers Association can provide.
Perfect. Thank you. We have another one. Does the Shippers Association replace the current employee in charge of managing our rates?
That's a great question. And no, they don't get replaced. They're actually a vital asset to the Shippers Association solution. Nobody's going to know their business better than them. So they're really important in making sure that the goals their company's setting are being met, and that the IHSA solution is providing the tools for them to meet their goals.
Okay, great. Another one is, what is the minimum that we need to commit to IHSA?
There's really, go ahead.
The answer to that, Jenny, is just one container. I mean, you know, what that might affect, obviously if you have more containers, it's advantageous for you to go ahead and commit them once you feel comfortable with the association, because that affects the level of refund you get in return. But to answer the question, I mean, one container is really all you need to commit.
But the more you commit, the better it's going to help the Shippers Association to go out and leverage that volume to negotiate lower rates. And like Greg said, you know, it's going to help with your refund in the end. Okay.
Do you keep all my information confidential?
The answer to that question is absolutely. We share no one's information, whether it be rates or volumes or port pairs, anything with any other member. It's held in the strictest of confidence, I can assure you that.
Okay, great. Does IHSA handle LCLs?
Yes, we've actually brought in a partner that is also our forwarder, and they are capable of handling the LCL portion of your business. All you would need to do is just send us in what exactly you need, and we would get you in contact with them and help them ensure that you get some rates quoted to you.
Perfect. I believe that's all we have question-wise for each gentleman today. But okay. On behalf of we have one more, sorry. Does IHSA consolidate shipments from factories in China?
We definitely, another reason we brought in the forwarder is so that we can help members who have factories in different origin locations that want to consolidate it in different origins or one origin. They're capable of handling that and making sure that it's orchestrated at origin to utilize a IHSA carrier contract rate.
Thank you. Perfect. Well, once again, thank you, gentlemen. IHSA is a great partner with IHA and has truly been remarkable in helping our members. And for those of you who would like to listen to the webinar, please go to www.housewares.org to the Knowledge Center, and the webinar will be posted there within the next 24 hours. And also a note to all the attendees today, please look for ongoing communication from IHA and IHSA in regards to what is going on in the West Coast. IHSA has been very good about keeping us up to date on what is going on at this time. If anyone has any questions, feel free to contact Craig Akers or Greg Marty at IHSA. Thank you very much, and
Jenny?
thank you for attending. Yes.
I'd just like to add, if you go to our website and click join, like Greg Marty had mentioned in the presentation, and just do the little sign up, it takes little time. We'll be monitoring that, and anybody that does that post this webinar, we'll ensure they're getting those updates about the West Coast.
Perfect.
So.
Well, thank you very much, and have a good day, everyone.
All right, thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.